welcome to this Urban Tango Night recap for our Tango Day Day in Swansea on the 1st of February. So, as usual, 4 workshops. In the first one we talked about tango posture, by having our feet in a slight V shape, leaning forward, getting the weight onto the balls of the feet, slight flex in the knee. We're going to come into an embrace, so we can have a close embrace when there's contact in the chest area, or an open embrace when there's space between us. The leader's hand is to the side, and the follower's hand is resting on top, and the leader's right hand is resting under the follower's arm, around as far as is comfortable, and I'm looking where I'm going. My follower's hand is resting on top, and her left arm is coming around my back, not gripping on, and she can either look at the leader's chest, or if she's of sufficient height, to look over the leader's shoulder, and importantly she's also keeping her eyes open and keeping her head on top of her shoulders. Start off with the balanceo, so rocking from side to side, and wherever my chest goes to where my follower's free leg is going to go. So if I move my chest forward, she's going to step back, open up on the inside ball of the foot, sinking into that standing leg as I take that step, and that allows us to get that progression down the ring. We can change the size of our steps, we can put less drive through, or we can put more drive through, take bigger steps. We can add in side steps, which can either go back the way they came, rebalanceo and then do another side step, or we can walk out and we can change the speed and add in rock steps so we can go quicker, or we can go slower. We can also go into the outside system of walking by stepping outside, twisting my chest towards the follower, and my follower is twisting her chest towards me using disassociation, and then we can walk outside and come back to line. Or we take effectively a side step when we step outside, we end up with our feet apart. If I twist my chest to the left and pivot on my standing foot, we end up both going into a cross. I'm in the back cross, my follower's in the front cross. If I over pivot her, she can walk out because this transfers the weight onto her front leg. Note, I do not have to go into a cross to do this. I can just bring my feet to the side, and then I can come out on whichever foot I want to, but I still have to unhook my follower. Also, with the cross, we don't always have to go into this side step. As you get more experience with tango, you can make this movement a little bit more subtle to be able to do the cross just from a pure straight walk. From the cross, we can also do Calesitas, so if I put my follower into the cross and I walk backwards around her, she will be onto the front foot and pivot around. She can now send the leg out to the side, or if I lean my follower into me by spiraling out slightly, we can end up with a Volcada. Again, I can twist her out to come out into a full walk and come back to our full height. Or from the cross, I can use my foot to come into contact first. I get a bite. If I pivot her around, she will sandwich me, and this gives her the opportunity to do shoeshines or PKs. And if I twist my chest to the right, she can come out by twisting her foot towards me, and her chest can come out in effectively forward Ochos, which was on to workshop 3. So we start off with a side step. If I open my chest up to the left, my follower is going to step around me. Notice Alison's arching her foot towards me and has twisted her chest towards me, so she's got this torsion down her back and through the foot. So when she steps onto that foot, she will pivot around. Notice her hips are level and she's not tapping the foot around or lifting it off the floor. We can then add side steps as a leader to match her direction of travel, which means we can do smaller side steps or bigger side steps, which allow us to travel sideways. Or if I over pivot her, we can travel down the room, or if I under pivot her, we can travel backwards along the room. I can also choose where I want to step. I don't have to step purely to the side and outside her. I can step into the space between her legs, and we get sacadas, which allow us to rotate through. So the key for sacadas is making sure we transfer the weight, and we still got that twisting of the chest to allow ourselves to pivot. We can also play around with what happens if instead of stepping to my right with my right foot, if I step across myself with my right, and we end up in mirrored ochos, and I can choose to block my follower's foot. So I put this on my right side with my right foot, This puts her into that parada position. Again, she can do shoeshines or bites. Notice her knee is safely away from me. I transfer the weight over and twist my chest back to the right. We get Ganchos, and for this she is not fishing, she is following the lead and her leg is only hooking when it can go no further. And I brought myself up onto the ball of my foot with a side bend in the leg. Then finally we've gone to workshop 4, which was on Milonga. So we taught a basic box. We recommend doing this in a closer embrace because Milonga tends to have more subtle movements, just because of the increased speed. So we start with a back step on the right, side step to the left, 2 walks outside. And we can do this on the slow beats, or we can do it all on the quick beats, in which case come up onto the balls of the feet and make sure the steps are nice and small. Or we can play around with the rhythms of the music and we end up with a trust rhythm. We can add in rock steps from this forward step, which can go down and can be off either foot. We can also make these rock steps go around in a circle. Similarly, in the side steps, we can do traspy steps where we go to take a step and then we fake it straight back, so we get almost a rock step to the side. And also we can add in multiple side steps as well, and then we can also play around with our step patterns, so I can add more forward and backward steps, add more side steps, and we can play around with all this sort of stuff in the music too. And also we can take moves like Ochos and just make them a bit smaller, which makes them suitable for Milonga. And we can also do things like heroes, which we haven't covered today. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and we'll see you in another video or class very soon.